Welcome to an episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got Wayne, Tim, and Ethan in the building so far. Sixers season opener, kind of to be expected. What happened tonight? Portland just got hot. They bombed them out. I think it was like the third quarter. They really went off on a run on them. But this was the worst team, one of the worst teams the Sixers could possibly face without Joel Embiid. And this is the kind of stuff that we're going to have to go through if we're facing teams like this and he's on this load management or whatever they want to call it. I did think that there was some good things. Maxi Maxi tried Maxi played as hard as he could, and he's not going to get the benefit of some of them calls, especially against a team the size of the Bucks. They have length inside, and Maxi trying to go in there and get them, and they can play aggressively on him outside. So he missed that spacing that he'll have with a Paul George and Embiid on the court. But Maxi still balled out and did what he played as hard as he could. I do like me personally. I like Yabusele. I like the way he played. Caleb Martin was solid, but again, being undersized against a bigger team, there's going to be some struggles there. Drummond was active. All in all, I liked what I saw from some of these players, but it's going to hurt anytime you don't have Paul George and Embiid. What y'all see?
Yeah, I mean, how many times we gonna say that this season? But the good. Let's start with the good. Like Wayne said, the boy Yabusele, he can play. We seen that in the Olympics. I'm glad he landed here. I don't know what the deal was, but other teams was probably interested because he showed his talents over there against USA, so that got him back here in the NBA. He can play. He's a player. I ain't see much. I don't know why they didn't give McCain. He's 16 pick in the draft. We didn't see him until garbage minutes. We 3-point shooting tonight wasn't good. The bad. Eric Gordon had 22 minutes too many. Why was he even starting? Why was Gordon starting this game? Why was he playing? You could at least started Kyle Lowry, man. He would have gave some defense. And Kyle ain't still, as much as I hate it, Kyle Lowry can play a little. He still can play a little bit. You still gotta tweak his minutes, but he still can play a little bit. I would have liked to see him go to the bench a little deeper earlier, just to see what we got. We short. We know we short two starters, so let's get these dudes in and see what they got. But all in all, Maxi, he tried. He struggled a little bit. I think it's going to come. To me, Maxi takes too many. He bails people out with them deep threes sometimes. I don't like when he takes so many of them. But that's part of his game, I guess. But we're going to be hearing this all year. No Joel Embiid, no Paul George. What we calling this now? What they call it? They can't call it that no more. What they used to call it?
The process.
No,
load management.
Yeah, they can't call it load management no more, right? Ain't that what they said? They trying to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna see what the NBA got to say about it when they're investigating them now. So hopefully they shake some sense into them. What you got, Tim?
First of all, I want to say welcome back. NBA is awesome. This is our bread and butter. We love the NBA. So thanks for everybody for the support. They've been with us from day one. So shout out to X-Men, Starscream, all y'all boys, SS Relabel, all y'all been with us. So just thank y'all. We appreciate the love and the support. As far as this game goes, I don't understand Nick Nurse's philosophy. Real right. I just don't know his offensive philosophy. What is he doing? Because for me, this is a perfect opportunity. What's up, teacher? Got game. This is a perfect opportunity to play the young boys. Ricky Council should not be the last person. Should not get in the third quarter and only play like 4 or 5 minutes in the entire game. And McCain, be the 16th pick, play that young boy. Let them get some clock so that I like the philosophy of Golden State, where they played the young boys and they intermingled them with the veterans. And so now you had Jordan Poole was a great contributor to them when they went on that run. especially when Steph was out. Jordan Poole was a focal point in the offense. I wouldn't rely so much on the veterans. I just wouldn't. But it's just one game, so I'm not trying to make it a big deal. It's literally one game. But Maxey struggled with his shooting. He shot a lot. He took 18 shots in the first half. He took a lot of shots. But
he was trying to do what he was being asked to do, which was carry the team because the other two stars ain't there.
But here's the thing: I don't think he's a point guard. I think it's a disadvantage to him making him play point guard. To me, when Kyle Lowry actually was on the ball, Maxey looked a lot better.
Well, I mean, and shout out to Oubre too. I thought Oubre brought a lot of energy. Oubre finishing around the rim, he gets a lot of contact too. I don't, I guess he don't get them call, but the rest was kind of letting them play both ways a little bit. Because they got a little physical with Giannis in there too. But like I said, it ain't. It's hard to evaluate this team because you don't have two of the big pieces in there. So even though they're going to be doing it, well, not playing back to backs and something like that, whatever like that, and hopefully the league does say something about that
I just saw your comment.
gets adjusted. But but I mean, I'm looking at it. Like I said, I like Yabusele. I think Caleb Martin still looked solid. It's just that when they're trying to attack the basket, you couldn't, and because Brooklyn has that size in there, and you can't face that size without size. You know what I'm saying? Like they sitting up there running out of lineup at one point. Bobby Portis, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. Like, you know what I mean? What they going to do? And if your shot's not hitting from outside, then it kind of shrinks. And on defense, I think the Sixers had to exert way too much. I think they missed B even more on defense than offense because they had to stretch out far. They was getting stretched out. No Diddy, but they was getting stretched out far, and then like you had certain times, like it was like Lopez stuck with Maxey down there in the post, or somebody else small in the post. So we missed two of our better defenders out there tonight.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid.
What's wrong with him?
Where do I begin? I was talking about this with Maine today earlier, a little while ago. Joel Embiid, man, he has a loser mentality to me. And this is why. For one, everybody thought it was a good idea for him to play in the Olympics. Not for him to play, but for the experience, right? For him to be around these pros like LeBron, like Steph, like Drew, for him to be around these dudes to understand what it takes to be a champion, right? The mentality, how hard these dudes work, their work ethic, the work LeBron puts in, the work Steph puts in. Remember the coach, I forget the coach of the team. He was talking about the work that these dudes put in day in and day out to be professionals, to be ready. Here comes Joel Embiid a couple months after the Olympics. He's not ready to go. He has to play himself, but he has to get back in basketball shape. Dude had all season. He had all off season to get ready to play basketball. He plays in the Olympics. Here we go again. The start of another NBA season. Joel Embiid's not ready to go. This is all on Joel Embiid. This is his attitude. This is the type of player he is. This is the type of person he is. Again, he's not ready to go. Like what is going on? What do we have to do to this guy? It's always something. It's always something to him. Get yourself ready. You're a professional. There's no excuse to miss the first game, especially when you played in the Olympics. You played around these dudes. You show what it takes to be a champion. Dude is a loser to me, man. He's a loser.
So you don't think the organization has nothing to do with him sitting out?
It's him. It's him.
You out to rabbit,
if he wanted to play, he would play.
If he
wanted to play, he would play. He played in the Olympics, didn't he?
It's no way the organization going to give him an extension and pay him all that money and be all right with him and just be like,
they gave him extension after the Olympics. Then they gave him extension after he played in the Olympics.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the organization, they're all on board with this. And I agree with you with him. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Just wait. I felt the same way, but some of the same people was in here. Oh, he shouldn't even play in the playoffs because he hurt. Don't play. But then when he played and he hurt, it's because he's selfish. Just said no. So now when he say I'm gonna conserve myself for the playoffs, now all of a sudden this, now he unprofessional. I'm just saying keep it consistent. I agree. I don't think that I don't believe in that sit down and stuff. Play. Ain't nobody saying you got to play those 40 minutes. Ain't nobody saying that, but you still do need to play. To me, the excuse that they gave as to why he playing, talk about it wasn't even like it was like knee maintenance or something. Like, what the heck is that? It wasn't even talking about an injury. It's talking about knee maintenance. Like that. That's what I'm saying. This whole thing to me
It
was an
was an
organizational
organization.
decision, and I don't agree with it at all.
It's Joel Embiid. After they lost last year, this is documented. Joel Embiid texted Daryl Morey and said, "We got to do what we have to do to make sure I'm healthy for the playoffs. You got to do what you have to do. Now you lose 20, 25 pounds. You should have lost that weight 3 years ago. You knew you was overweight. You came in every year overweight. That's on Joel Embiid.
So now he lose the weight. You still crying.
That's on him. He's
He
3 years
loses
late.
the weight. He loses the weight, and he's saying, I'm going to preserve myself for the playoffs.
3 years
You're
ago.
still crying.
He should have lost the weight 3 years ago.
There's two things. There's two things going on here. I do not have a problem with Joel sitting out games this year if it means he's going to be healthy at the end of the year. As long as like we got the coverage, we finally got an adequate backup center, so I don't have a problem with that. My thing is, if you're going to sit him, then at least develop the players that's on the bench, play them so that they can develop, so that at the end of the year, that last stretch, everybody's coming together as a unit. You're not going to play these old vets, then they're going to wind up breaking down, and then you're going to need the young boys who don't have any experience, and you're going to have a rusty Joel coming together. I don't need that part. That's like, I need some structure. You need to tell me exactly what are y'all doing. But
well,
I don't
the
have
whole part about them not playing the back-to-backs, to me, the bulk of your back-to-back games is going to be in January. So by the time down the stretch of the season, you usually don't have a bunch of back-to-backs being played.
How many games do you think Embiid how many games do we think Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George are going to play together?
50.
30.
All three of them on the court.
I think it's going to be around 50.
Nah, I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under. You know Paul George's not playing back-to-backs either.
Okay. I'm so still saying I think it's going to be about 50.
Are they missing the same back-to-back? Or is Joel playing the first?
That remains to be seen. I'm not necessarily sure that that's going to be the case with Paul George. Paul George didn't come out and co-sign on that.
Daryl Morey said it.
Okay, but I ain't hear Paul George. I heard Embiid sit there and say like he agreed to it. I ain't hear Paul George agree to it. So you telling me you don't think? And this is kind of what you're talking about with personality. I think somebody like Paul George, if they sit up there and they talking that, and he start hearing the rumblings and people talk about him like that, I think Paul George got enough pride where as though he's gonna be like, nah, I ain't going out like that.
How do you just cap on the fans and it's Sixers home opener? You're in Philly. If you was in Milwaukee, okay, you're home.
Man, don't nobody care about the fans. These same fans going to cry and complain, cuss him out, and be like you talking trash about him no matter what. So why should he care about the fans?
The home opener is always special, no matter what, no matter where you are, whether it's the Major League Baseball, football, that home opener is a special game for the fans. It gives you it's the one day of the year that you have the most hope. And the fact of the matter is that he didn't show. We don't know why he didn't show. Give me a legit reason why he didn't play.
I agree. That's my issue with the organization. To me, it's too much cloak and dagger stuff. No, be straight up. Like stop with this. And I think that's the whole politic part because they don't want the league feeling some kind of way about hitting. Like we was talking about the load management. The league don't want to hear certain words. But that's why they looking at it like you can't come out and flamboyantly tell the league, "Oh, this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna play them." The league is gonna have an issue with that. But like X-Man said, PG said he here to step up when B don't play. So who knows how they gonna? It remains. I refuse to believe that this is the way they're going to be able to go on throughout the season. The league is going, or they're going to face a lot of fines. The league is not going to allow it.
Now tell me this: do y'all think that Paul George?
Somehow?
I know y'all were saying Paul George might not play back-to-backs. I know last year he played 74 games, but the years before that it was like 56, 31, 54, 48. So was last year was just a contract year? Is the reason why he played like 74 games, or is the other?
He actually wasn't hurt. The other years he'd been hurt.
Contract year.
But
the other years he'd been hurt.
And B played hurt MVP year, supposedly, right? He wanted to get them games in.
Yeah,
So he played hurt MVP year. When they got a reason to play, they'll play. This is my thing, though. In whose mind do we think if these dudes play 30, 40 games together, that they'll be ready to play as a team in the playoffs? We think them playing 30, 40 games together as a team, they'll be ready in the playoffs.
Why
to go
not? If
against
they
these
play
other teams that play 70, 60,
wait,
70
wait,
games together.
hold. They be the same people that talk about the teams that get hot down the stretch and playing together the stretch and building up that momentum down the stretch be the ones that everybody afraid of, right? So you telling me if they do play minimum and then down the stretch, they all in there and they playing and they hot and they
down the
balling
stretch?
together?
He's still gonna be missing games.
How? If I'm telling you, most of the back-to-backs is going to be played out by the time they get down the stretch. The bulk of the back-to-backs is in January.
B's not playing. If a game's on Monday and Wednesday, B's not playing either. You think he's still playing?
Yeah, that's not a back-to-back. Back-to-back.
I promise you he's not.
Back-to-back. So now you just putting extra definitions on what
we're going to see.
They're saying a back-to-back is being nights playing back-to-back games. That's what a back-to-back is.
I know. But it's still games that's going to be too close in stretches. He's not going to play all them games. If you got a game Monday, Wednesday, Friday, B's going to play all 3 of them games?
Why not?
Okay. You think, Tim, you think B's going to play all them games?
B is not playing. He might not play this year. They might hold him out to play. Yo, Mark said, did y'all see what Boston did in that game yesterday?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know I was on it. Some people in here saying that it's a failure if the Sixers don't win the NBA Finals or get to the NBA Finals. And I said that Boston is still the top team up here. And so I could understand if somebody can't beat Boston because Boston is that team. But if the Sixers don't beat Boston and get to the finals, it's a failure.
Morey, the whole offseason was his job was to build a team to beat Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That was his job.
Because we won't get to see him. We won't get to see the team.
Ancestry label. This is my point. So the Sixers is going to take 2 years, right? If they don't play together. So if they missing all these games, historically, yes, it takes a year for a team to gel playing together. So if they only play 30, 40 games together, are they going to be ready for the playoffs?
Well, I don't know. The Knicks made a bunch of trades down the stretch, and then they came in and was balling out and made a run. They just ran into injuries, right?
And they
ran into injuries, right?
Listen,
they actually but again, we need to develop our young talent. If that's what we're going to do, we know that we don't have a chance to win the finals. Maybe we got a chance to make it to the NBA, the conference finals, but maybe not get past Boston. Then at this time, if it's a 2-year job, then we need to start building the younger talent, integrating them with our existing talent. That just and a bunch of old heads is not going to make it don't make good sense.
I agree with that. Eric Gordon, no way Eric Gordon should have played that many minutes.
That's what I want to understand. How are we saying I'm panicking, right? This is not the first time Joel Embiid does this. For the last 3 to 4 years, Joel Embiid comes into the season out of shape. Right or wrong?
Right.
He has to
I don't think he's out of shape.
Himself into shape. Every year for the last 3 or 4 years.
He's not out of shape.
You know it. This is what
he's not out of shape. He just lost 25 pounds.
That's not taking care of your body.
30 pounds and still be out of shape. I don't get it. Like, what was you
I don't think that he's out of shape. I think this is the Sixers with this propaganda crap. Because if that's the case, if he is hurt like that, where though, like I said, if you listen to the word, this what I'm saying. You gotta look at the wording. They said knee maintenance. They didn't say they said they held him out of preseason for knee maintenance. It wasn't because of knee injury and none of that. So
what do you think maintenance for? Maintenance.
What you mean maintenance for?
It's related to an injury.
No, it's maintenance means you trying not to overuse something too. That's what he's trying not to overuse.
It hasn't been used in months.
I agree.
So it has to be an injury. It has to be.
I don't think that it is. I think they playing this game and it's a corny game and I don't believe in karma, but you keep playing it. It's the reason why the process ain't worked yet. All that tanking and doing all that other kind of crap. Be straight up with it and play straight up.
That's where Embiid got that loser mentality from.
But
Brett Brown in the process. I agree.
That's where he got it from.
The thing is, he hasn't played. He didn't play at all the preseason. He hasn't scrimmaged with his teams. It's not about maintenance. There's some type of injury that they're not reporting, that they're not telling us about. If you don't scrimmage in the playoffs, I'm not the playoffs, but in training camp, no preseason games, you miss game 1 because you wrapping up. That makes no sense. There's an injury. They're not reporting. They're not disclosing. It's just not.
Appreciate that, Sholo man. He said he played in Paris. Now he out of shape. That's why I listen. I'm telling you, the Sixers. It's some foolery going on right now. It's foolery going on. I'm telling you, I believe that he isn't shaping up to play. Even when he was working his way back, he actually was injured and coming off of the injury back then and was playing in France. And then he lost weight. So to lose weight, more than likely, unless he out there doing Ozempic or whatever, whatever, unless he's doing something like that, he doing some kind of working out to lose the weight, right? And they were just talking about how much in good shape he was. He lost his weight and he feeling good all the shape. Now all of a sudden his knee maintenance. Like, come on, bro.
So let me ask y'all this then. So the Sixers, I guess the Sixers organization feels as though they don't care about seeding because they have Joel Embiid. So is this where we're going at? We don't care who we got to play. We don't care if we the first seed or we don't care if we the 8th seed because we know we're going in with a healthy Joel Embiid so we can beat anybody. Is this the feeling of the Sixers organization? Do y'all feel the same way?
And also, I mean, ain't y'all the same one saying the Sixers was only going to be a 4th seed anyway, and saying how deep the East is? Wait, because if we talk about how deep the East is, then it don't matter where you see it. That you
remember, I said I see the Sixers
anyway,
as top 3. I see Celtics, Knicks, and the Sixers. We all said that.
That's what we was originally anyway.
Now they might be.
Y'all put the Knicks up there. I didn't put the Knicks up there. I
don't see the Sixers like that now.
Y'all put the Knicks up there. I said the Bucks, and I said, what about Indiana? I mean, we looked at this a bunch of teams in the East.
So where you see the Sixers at?
Been beating them don't play. I see them as 5.
Y'all didn't I kept include the Bucks. Y'all didn't want to include the Bucks. The Bucks.
I did include. I included the Bucks, and I included the Pacers.
Is the Bucks in your top 3? We said top 3. Who's your top 3 in the East right now?
I think
at the end of the year,
Boston won, and the Knicks and the Bucks. Right now,
I don't think.
Yes, before this Embiid situation, with the Embiid situation, before the Embiid situation,
you're talking about with Embiid. If Embiid was before the Embiid situation, I did have him top 3. I had him number 2.
Me too. Tim, you didn't?
I thought we had a legit shot at being number 2.
Now we have a legit shot at being 5 or 6, maybe in the play-in.
But I don't necessarily even agree with that. If Paul George comes in and Paul George is what he was last year, I don't think that we lose as bad. I don't think we play as bad as we did. This is a bad matchup for us without Embiid in there. This is the Bucks is a big squad they have to go into and play without Embiid.
So is this the only bad matchup for us in the East?
The way they shot the ball in the second half.
What about the Knicks? Is the Knicks a bad matchup for us without Embiid?
With Paul George? No, I don't think so.
The Knicks don't shoot threes like Boston and like.
What about Boston? Boston a bad matchup without Embiid?
Boston a bad matchup with Embiid. The way Boston play against us, and the way Boston is a borderline dynasty. They've been to the finals once in laws and been to the finals in once.
Indiana, we might be a bad matchup because Indiana and Cleveland without Embiid.
Nah, I don't know because I think Drummond still brings physicality in there that what we need in that physicality. I like Yabusele.
Miles Turner bring Drummond all the way out to 3-point line.
Yeah, man. Guess what? If he ain't down there, then we got Yabusele get rebounds. Martin had like 9 rebounds tonight. So I mean, I think a big problem was we started Eric Gordon and had him in there for too many minutes. I think Tim alluded to. Eric Gordon played way too many minutes.
Yeah. I expect a little bit more from Max. I'm a little disappointed. I know it's just one game, but I mean, I didn't expect him to shoot this terrible. I mean, wow.
First game, home opener. I think he was trying to do too much. I think he needs to settle down a little bit. You know what I mean? Get in the flow. Don't force your shot. He was forcing the shot a lot. I don't think he has to do that. Somebody else said something too. I would like him to get that mid-range jumper or floater. I didn't see none of that tonight. Did I miss that? Did he shoot that tonight?
He had a couple floaters.
I mean, for the most part, he was at the basket. That's what I'm saying. Against a team like Milwaukee, he was going way in too deep inside, trying to get trick shots up against. Lopez was punching everything. Then you had Giannis jumping. You got Portis. You got all these blockers in there.
5 of his shots tonight. Like he was trying to do all this freaky stuff towards the basket. It just didn't work.
And he looked like he was looking for foul calls a lot.
And he got no respect from the refs. I mean, there's a couple.
That's because the refs probably looking at it like keep your behind from out the paint. You see the Giants in there, get out the paint.
Yeah, this was a terrible.
There's no way we could beat that team without Embiid.
With Paul George, we beat him. If you have Paul, no Embiid.
If McCain,
not if they had what's his name, because they was also missing their starting small forward Middleton.
Yeah.
No, I think if we play our shooters, if they play the young boys that can actually shoot the ball at a high percentage, at least you'll give yourself a shot.
But that team was the Bucks are too long. Like they're athletic and long. They were contesting a lot of those shots. You wasn't getting a lot of clean open look threes. But I will say this though too, the Bucks kind of look kind of tired down the stretch. I don't know if it's them playing themselves in
it's the first game. Everybody tired.
Nah, maybe so.
It's the first game.
But everybody's supposed to be in shape now, though, right?
Should McCain be in the rotation? He wasn't in rotation tonight.
I think so.
All right, Mark.
Should McCain? You don't think McCain should? Yeah, I think he's too high of a draft pick not to be in rotation right now. Who's over him though? I don't know if Gordon. Gordon older. You do have to.
You got Gordon and Lowry. Gordon and Lowry.
You got to develop these young dudes though. You got to develop.
Yeah.
You got to.
He had to play.
I'm actually listen. I'm watching the boy from the Lakers connect that got drafted right after McCain.
Right before, right after
he got drafted right after McCain. I'm watching. He had a nice game last night.
We did.
So, what he finished with?
I got my eye on that. On it. And if you, we can talk about that later though. But he's a ready now guy. He's not a development.
I don't think that McCain is. I think McCain I think he can play now too. I think he do. For one, I think that he has the heart to play. Like even when he got down there, like even if he missed, McCain don't have no problem going in there trying to mix up, get on boards. He one of them kind of players.
Body size too.
Everything. Now that is true. And I like the fact that McCain after he hit his first shot, and when he got the second one, even though they got it to him way out there, hey, he still put it up there. Like we
too short. We too short. We too short of a squad. It's too many 6'1", 6'2" boys on our team.
Especially against a team
so
like
undersized.
this.
And when you look at Boston, that's another thing. Boston is tall. All of them are tall dudes. Everybody. I think they got 2 players on that squad that's 6'2". Everybody else is 6'4", 6'5", and up. They got 3 7-footers. It won't work. Whatever this plan is, they was real goofy.
Chris said, "Why draft Connect if you targeting Paul George in the free agency?
You draft for the future."
But ain't that supposed to be Ricky Council? Ain't that supposed to be Ricky Council's spot in the future?
If you see better, you get better. You get the best player. He at that time, he was the best player available. You know why he didn't get picked? Because of his age.
You think Connect? So do you think Connect is better than Ricky Council?
Yes.
You think that Tim? You think Connect better than Ricky Council?
He's not as more. Ricky Council is more athletic, but he has a better shot than Ricky Council.
He was too old.
I asked you which player do you? If you have Ricky Council already and you already planning that he's going to be in your rotation down the stretch and take Paul George's spot down the stretch, do you draft Connect?
Yep. Because you can go small ball lineup and you can have both of them on the court at the same time.
What? Who's going to be the power forward?
Either one. Ricky Council 6'6". He can play for this position.
Ricky Council not playing no power forward.
If we don't have if you gotta go to a small ball lineup with Embiid, you can have that lineup. We played lineups that's smaller than that on our at some point during the game.
I like Yabusele though.
He probably should have been He probably should have been in there starting at power forward, and then instead of what's his name starting at the 2 guard, you could have just slid everybody down some.
Who, Ricky? Oh, you talking about
Boston got a tall lineup. We're a little short with Maxey, so we did it. We could have used a big guard. So I guess that's kind of where Paul George / Oubre come in at.
Right, because one of them would have been playing that 2 guard position in that lineup that we was looking at.
Right. So
that's what I'm saying. Like we drafted the team.
Martin, what is he? 6'4"? So Martin needs to play the guard. Because he's small. Was he 6'3", 6'4"?
Who you talking
Martin.
about? Caleb? I
Yeah.
mean, nah, he's not
Caleb.
that. I think he like 6'6", ain't he?
I think
No.
he's like 6'5".
No.
He's not that tall. That's what I say. Ricky Council's actually taller than him, and he started.
They got him listed at 6'5". I don't think he's 6'5". Let me look at that. I looked at him before, and he was. Remember they redid everybody.
He pulls down rebounds. That man had 9 rebounds this game. So all I'm saying is I get what you. The problem is you built this team
power forward too.
This is the problem. The problem is we built this team
Undersized.
specifically to be like around Embiid and Maxey when you got Paul George. But the problem is when you're not, if you're talking about you're not going to be playing Embiid all these minutes, this team is not built to be a team built to play without Embiid. I don't care that we got Drummond and stuff. You got all these smaller players and supposed to be shooters and everything else because it's supposed to be opened up with Joel Embiid in there. Oh, Martin is better than PJ Tucker at this point. And PJ Tucker when he was with Arsenal.
He is. They do got this at 6'5". That's still undersized for power forward to me. So
Morey is not a good GM, man. He's not a good GM.
Yabusele should be the 4. I agree. He should be the 4.
You keep saying he's not a GM. See, hold on. See, this is where you're talking out two sides of your mouth. You're saying he's not a good GM, but we all just said before the Embiid debacle of this not playing stuff, we said we thought there was the number 2 team. So how is he not a good GM if he built the team that you saw to be the number 2 team? But now the issue that we have with it is that our supposed best player, our best player, is not available.
First of all, I didn't know if he's going to be the number 2. That's just me as a Sixer fan, like just saying I hope he was going to be number 2. If you realistically look at it,
so you wasn't putting the Sixers in the top 3?
We're not good enough.
Why are you putting them in the top 3 before the whole Embiid situation?
Listen, if Boston lose one player, that doesn't stop the show from happening. They still are going to get up and go. It doesn't matter who they lose. They still going to be a championship.
If Boston loses Jalen, if they lost Jalen Brown, they're not going back to win the finals.
They still will be the best team in our conference.
Not if they lose Jalen Brown.
Yes, they will. Regardless, if they lose Jalen Brown, next man up. They still going to go to the conference finals. It don't matter who they lose. That's a team that's built right, the right way.
Okay.
We lose Joel, next thing you know, we're in a lottery.
This team is not a lottery team. But first of all, Paul George ain't play either. And stop. See that?
We're a lottery.
So this is.
I ain't even going. Hey, y'all, I ain't even going to let them get me with this stuff. With this.
But see, this is the next. So this is the rest of Joel Embiid's career, though. This ain't just the rest of his career. He's no longer playing back to backs. The rest of his career, he's playing tops 50 games a season. This is the rest of the time. This ain't just this season. We do know that, right? We all agree
necessarily. With that. It depends. I don't necessarily agree with that. Depending on how everything unfolds.
So you think, nah. So he's just Joel Embiid just said he's never playing back-to-backs again in his career.
Okay.
He said that.
Just think about this. Morey right now gave $800 million to like 3 players that 2 of them can't even play a full season of basketball. And they're going to decline each year as they get older because they both are over 30. Mm-hmm. But he got $800 million wrapped up in them. And you're going to tell me that's a great GM.
And that being said, this team as composited, you thought was the number 2 team in the conference. Only behind Boston, who has been the dominant team, who was the dominant team all last season, and showing themselves to still be that dominant team. That's who you put the Sixers behind. The team that Morey built up, but now when Embiid's not there, now all of a sudden he's the worst GM. This, that, and other. Come on, bro.
He is because you build it. It's false. It's fake. It's not real. We all as fans, we like, yeah, we the number 2, we the number 3 team. That's what we want to believe. But when you take a look at it, you say, oh, we're really undersized. We're a lot shorter.
So who's the number 2 team? Who's the number 2 team?
Knicks.
They just got routed.
By who?
It don't matter.
By
they
who?
Got routed.
By who? That was.
I bet you the Bucks play Boston tougher than that.
So that puts us in number 4 then, right? So
but you just told me the Knicks is because you're a Knicks fan. We all know you're a Knicks fan. You love that Knicks bully ball when they had Oakley and Pat Ewing and all them. You already said you was a big Knicks fan. We already know what it is.
We sat there and we allowed y'all. You caping for Morey, and Morey has done nothing since he's been here but hurt the team.
I'm just saying that this team as composited is not a trash put together. This is
Like,
a
I
this
like
is a
Paul.
good team that got put together.
Listen, I like Paul George, but he really invested $200 million on a 34-year-old man. Literally, that's going to decline. He's not on the rise at all. He's like in the middle of his prime.
Who's
And
talking
you know
about
that
Joel or Paul George?
Paul George. But if you want to throw the Joel in there, it fits him too.
Hey Tim, just FYI, Ben Simmons had 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and 6 turnovers tonight.
His first game, 8
Just want to throw that
rebounds.
out there. I know you tracking his career.
We could have used that. We could have used those 8 rebounds, those 8 assists.
what's that? Oh, Benson.
I think the Knicks give them a little time to play together. That was the first game. They endured an onslaught from Boston, who was 60% from 3 in the fourth quarter till they missed 13 straight. Till they missed 13 straight threes, trying to break the record. Their record wasn't made to be. The basketball guys didn't want that record broke. But Boston just got hot, so I don't hold that against the Knicks for that. So
I'm saying
I think they're still a really good team.
But the Bucks just got hot in the third quarter too, though. It was a tight game till they got hot. So.
Yeah, but it's hard to. But this is the difference between our team and the other teams. They're going to be playing together. We're not.
The Knicks playing together and they got routed. So I'm saying though, the Knicks are a full team, right?
The Knicks got 2 new players. This
is my thing. The next game,
we didn't have new starters in here tonight.
The next game, the Knicks starters are going to play together. When's the next time the Sixers starters going to play together? Does anybody know? It's not going to be this week.
April 30th.
It's not going to be this week. I'll tell you that. It might be next week. It might be 2 weeks. But this week they ain't playing together, so we don't know what we got.
All I'm saying is we giving all this. Oh, the Knicks will play. Everybody was all hyped up. They got Bridges though. Now Bridges was so great that now they trying to. Bridges so great that they don't even want to pay him the money that he want. He turning down the contract that they're offering him, and they telling him to work on his 3-point shot because they don't like his form. But I was told like Bridges was coming in there to be this great addition for them.
It's one game.
It's one game for the Sixers and y'all paying.
Because we don't.
Wayne. When's B playing, Wayne?
What?
We not panicking because of one game. We panicking because nobody knows when Joel Embiid's going to play.
All right, Wayne. Okay. What was the last game that Mikal Bridges missed?
What'd you say?
When was the last game Mikal Bridges missed in the NBA?
I don't know because nobody watched his team play.
No, I'm just saying when last time he missed the game? Because guess what? He's never missed a game. But I can tell you how many times.
What difference does that make if you scoring like 15 points a game? And
I would love to have 15 points a game from Mikal Bridges. Yes, give it to Will.
Why? You ain't like 15 points a game when you was getting it from Tobias Harris, but now you want 15 from Mikal?
First of all, it's 2 different things.
No, I agree. I'll take Mikal over Tobias.
You didn't even go. I forgot his name. I don't even know how you brought it up.
Because I saw the comments. I saw a couple comments talk about him.
I didn't think about him one time today while we was watching the game. That's crazy. All right, y'all.
Like I said, man, it was just hard to watch, and it was horrible because we already know because it's like you got this brand new toy, this brand new car, but then you can't even take it out and drive. All you could just sit in, you could just look at it like sitting there parked. You can't even drive the whole thing. Like, you can start it up, but you can't drive nowhere because we ain't got the whole team together. The team that we had, the whole team we had,
it was brand new.
The team wasn't a new team.
No, you have a old car in the garage that's getting worked on right now. That's what you got.
If you can't understand the analogy that we had, this whole team was supposed to be a competitive team, a team that's contending, and we had it, but we don't get to see it because the whole thing is not playing. They're not playing together. Did we not seeing the whole thing? We can't use the whole thing. So it's like we got it, but we can't use it.
And you don't even know when you're gonna be able to use it.
Nope. It's all right.
Sixers next game, Tim.
Sixers next game is Friday.
Friday against the Raptors.
We play against the Raptors. Before we got here, though, I want to talk briefly. We got to talk about LeBron and Bronny making history playing.
Shout out to Bron and Bronny. Yeah, shout out.
Man, Bronny don't even deserve to be in the league. But
why you hating on that man?
because he's
Why
not
don't?
good. He shouldn't even have been drafted.
Doesn't matter.
He was
The boy averaged 4
number
points a game.
56.
He
He
averaged
was
4 points a
drafted
game.
56.
He averaged like 4 points a game in college and got drafted. I'm not mad. Hey, I'm not mad at him,
He
but
was the second round pick. Second round picks. He literally is.
Who else got drafted that's averaging 4 points a game?
Doesn't matter.
Tell me who got drafted before Bronny. Do you know?
No,
No,
nobody
I just
cares
know
about
Bronny got
second
drafted
round.
just because of who his
Yeah,
dad
exactly. These dudes ain't getting no clock either.
was.
But we hating on Bronny. Come
Them
on,
dudes were
man.
scoring more than 4 points in college. Come on, we
I don't
already
know
know
what they
Bronny
was
got in
doing.
there because it's pop.
So what? That's okay. I'm all for nepotism. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine too. But
That's
I
the
ain't
American way.
all jolly and Joe. Oh no, Bronny got to play the yeah. If Bronny was good, I would have been more excited about that.
You sound like a hater. Don't
Maybe
be
D Wade to go play in the WNBA and him and his son could play together and make a bigger debut.
See, but I like the fact that all these college admissions, when they get them legacy admissions, just because your dad or your granddad went to that school and nobody says nothing. Now he got a chance to give his son an opportunity to play for the Lakers, and the Lakers
But see, you'll be the same one that'll be sitting there talking about something. Why you wasting a spot with this guy? And let it be somebody like a TJ McConnell on the team, and you wasting a spot on that with TJ when you could have had an athlete such and such playing.
It doesn't matter. Look at Giannis' brother. Giannis, don't nobody say nothing about Giannis' brother.
Oh, everybody say something about Giannis' brother.
His brother's hot. His brother's hot garbage.
Listen, that's the only way Milwaukee got to keep Giannis.
Yeah.
That was straight up bribery. Well, it's the same thing with the Lakers. That's how they got to keep Bron, because they brought his son in.
Yeah, so I have no problem with it. It is what it is. Congratulations, LeBron, his family, wife, everybody, the whole nine. They got a chance to see legacy in the making on that. And it's always going to be on television.
They did.
So we good. All right, y'all. We'll be here every game for the next 81 games, I guess. We'll be here. Support the Sixers. We're gonna see. We're gonna track them, see how good they are. If they get better, see how many games Embiid plays, and just hopefully we can hopefully we can tell.
George play.
When we play Friday.
But the crazy thing, before we get out here, what have y'all seen in Nick Nurse to make y'all think that he's a good coach?
I mean, I don't think he trashed, but I haven't seen him do nothing outstanding or spectacular with the Sixers. No.
What about you, Ethan?
I ain't seen nothing spectacular yet. But we'll
see.
see.
That's my point. I haven't either. But we don't never discuss him. All right, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We're going to catch you on our next podcast. We out. See y'all Friday.